After a long time of discussions, organization and preparation, finally a dream come true. The first real ISS meeting could take place, and a couple of saloon members would visit this little lady in Copenhagen, Denmark. For all those which couldn't take part, and of course for all interested members, the following chronicle tries to show how this meeting went. Well, let's start the story on the 16th of March, just before sunrise, somewhere in South Europe. Thursday, very early in the morning, on Lisbon airport, our two Portuguese friends, Ciao and Ciao, began to load the plane because they promised to bring us a lot of Portuguese goods. Not much later, about 6 o'clock, Thomas Bezant had to go to the airport in Vienna. He was very proud that he got the cheapest ticket of us all. But with the plane he booked, the flight from Vienna to Copenhagen will last some hours. But as you know, Thomas is a very encouraged man, and he didn't hesitate one moment, and soon his plane was already airborne. About 8 o'clock near Munich, Fritz was leaving the house very relaxed because he knew a modern jet will bring him very quick up to the north. What he didn't expect was the parking problem at the airport, which to solve would lower his meeting budget in the sum of more than 100 euros. Meanwhile, most of the visitors traveled by plane. Two Czech friends searched their way to Copenhagen by car. No one of us others knew where they have been at the moment. Bjarne, our well-known Viking, entered his new car and was fascinated of the modern navigation technique and found his way to Holmegard nearly with blind eyes. The host of the ISS meeting, Carsten Andersen, had finished the preparation for the meeting already the day before, and so he went for work in the morning and let his pupils suffer with mathematics lessons. Meanwhile, one by one, the ISS members got their goal, Copenhagen. Every plane landed safely, and even our friend Thomas finally made a touchdown. Copenhagen Central Station was the next meeting point, and here you see three lucky guys who successfully got together in a foreign country. Next step was to get the right train and ticket to Carsten's hometown, called Holme-Olstrup, deep in the Danish countryside. Timing and organization was perfect. Our host Carsten was already at the station and took us to his home. God gracious, this was a big hello. Bjarne, Mikkel and Jan already were there, and now people which only knew themselves by Facebook until this moment come together in the round for the first time. But it lasts only a short time, and everyone saw that a Facebook friendship could be a friendship in real. Thursday evening was announced by our host as a Danish evening, and Carsten prepared and served a complete dinner with much delicious food from Danish origin. As you see, all friends enjoyed the evening, and there was a much of fun and laughter. Maybe this unbelievable good mood was supported by other Danish origins. Even for our Chief Executive Officer Joe, Carsten had organized something special: volcano beer. After we finished dinner, we had the honor to visit Carsten's pipe and smoking saloon. Take a look and enjoy. Finally, it was time to go to our bed and breakfast, where we got nice rooms and could recover from the trip and the Danish evening. After next day's breakfast, we had to hurry up, and already early in the morning we went shopping for the international evening, which was planned for today. But first, there was another program point in the afternoon. Carsten had organized that we could visit one of the famous Danish pipe makers, Hans Nielsen, better known as Former, in his house on the countryside. This man is making pipes since more than 50 years now, and in this time thousands and thousands of pipes were made and designed by him. First, we all were a little bit shy when we entered his home, but after only a few minutes we saw that Former, how he is called by the whole world, is a very nice and friendly guy. With an open mind he showed us his whole workshop, and even a little bit industrial spying was allowed. Finally, the whole gang agreed that this visit was a real big experience. Back at Carsten's house, it was time to share and test tobaccos again, and every one of us got an original vintage clay pipe, which is ideal for tasting new tobaccos. Meanwhile, some of the group smoked and tested tobaccos, the other part cooked and prepared the international evening. We began with Portuguese starters, continued with Bavarian beer and Bavarian specials, and finally finished with Austrian Apfelstrudel. Well, the dinner was delicious, but our host Carsten had announced a big surprise for this evening. None of us could imagine what this would be. But as we saw what Carsten fetched from his smoking saloon, we could not believe our eyes. It was a 50-year-old tin of St. Bruno, which he wanted to open this evening and let the whole gang taste it. But that was not at all the complete surprise. This totally crazy but lovable guy had ordered at another famous Danish pipe maker named Refberg an ISS meeting pipe especially for every one of us. Dear Carsten, what you have done was unbelievable and so great. In the name of all, I want to thank you again, and I promise never forget this expression of friendship. Sunday the 18th, finally we all went to Denmark's capital Copenhagen. There wasn't much time for sightseeing, because we had to go to the Danish championships in long-time pipe smoking, where 3 of us would hold the saloon's flag high and would take part. Can you imagine? More than 100 pipe smokers all together in the room? My dear God, I think there was only a very few part of oxygen in the air. Nevertheless, all participants were very serious and everyone tried to win, of course. There was much fun and laughter too, and we all met new people of the same interests in tobacco and pipe smoking. This championship was a great experience, and the saloon's flag, was successfully represented. With placement 15, 18 and 43 and ranking number 6 with the team, the ISS could be very proud and left the championships with the head held high. After this successful Sunday, there was time for sightseeing in Copenhagen on Monday morning. And what other would pipe smokers do than to visit especially pipe and tobacco shops too? And we could buy some delicious tobaccos from Denmark and bring it at home. But like it is always, everything has its end, and we all had to say goodbye to Copenhagen, to Denmark, and to a couple of ISS friends, which now had become friends in reality.